Hello and welcome to another session of Star Trek Adventures, second edition. My name is Lowell. Pronouns he, him. This is a great asshole filter. I say my pronouns and people stop watching the video and they leave a nasty comment. I love that. That's how I know it's working. So let me go on. So we're playing, this is a new mission. Last time we wrapped up a three-session mission. This time we are doing a new mission. I have provided the crew a rundown of what the mission is, and I provided mission directives for the crew ahead of time. I may stop and go through those later on for the benefit of the home audience, but some of this you'll pick up when we do the captain's log. Before we go in further, though, as I told the characters last time, everybody's going to get a milestone. It's just the easiest way to handle it. I know in the book there's things about doing arcs and logs and things like that. We're just doing a milestone. So what you can do with a milestone is you can raise an attribute, as long as you don't raise it above 11, and each attribute can only be raised once. You could raise a department. You can't raise a department above 4. You could get a new focus. You could get a new talent. Uh, there are other things like if you wanted to increase ship systems, if you wanted to raise the value of one of the ship systems, you could do that, or a ship's department. Uh, with that, uh, with the ship systems ones, those are a swap. So you would need to swap out numbers for those. Uh, the other thing I do want to say is you can take one of those things. You may also do a swap if you want to swap one of your attributes down by 1 and raise another one up by 1. Swap out one talent for another talent, or swap out one department for another department, or a focus for another focus. So it's kind of two things that you have the choice of doing. You can do a swap and you can add a new thing. Now, Jolene, you said that you've been thinking about what you wanted to do, and what have you decided? And then I'll
Uh,
check if anybody else kind of knows what they want to add.
yeah, I was going to help a supporting character get a talent.
Okay.
So I've been working with Lieutenant Tun, and she now has the talent of full spread maximum yield.
Okay. So yeah, so we're looking to get a space battle next mission is what I'm hearing from you there. That feels like an implied wish.
I guess. I
Okay,
mean, I'm like, uh, I like looking at the supporting characters and the talents. I'm like, all right, what works for who and whatnot. So,
that makes
and
sense.
what's not overly complicated.
Okay. Do you know if there's anything you want to swap around on your own character?
I keep muting myself. No, I'm good.
Okay. Does anyone else have like know what they'd like to take or have questions about things? Okay. Well, we'll let you sit on that. If at some point you're like, "Oh, I want to do this," please feel free to do that. So just know that a swap milestone and a raise milestone are kind of out there in the ether for everyone there. Let's see. I've reset everybody's determination, stress. I've cleared out various things, and I've reset my threat pool. That made me just so happy when I was able to push that back up to 8. Just very, very happy. Uh, any questions before we get started? Okay. So we take up with the Tempest. We see a shot of it in orbit. In the background of this planet, we can probably see a kind of a greenish purple haze to the planet's atmosphere and terrain down below. More importantly, back behind, we can see that this is a trinary system, 3 stars, delicately balanced together at the center of this, a kind of a wonder that Class M planets can exist in these. It's a real rare thing within these systems. We will also see another several starships. We see like well, maybe an Orion ship, a early Cardassian ship. We see an Andorian Tellarite ship, but also alongside the Tempest, we will see a Federation ship, sleek, beautiful looking, high tech. We will see a Constellation class vessel, and I'm going to screen share this so people can see what that looks like here. The Constellation class vessel is what has the four nacelles. It's one of the new class of ships. It's only been out of the docks at Utopia Planitia for a few years, and it is what some engineers are saying is the future of starship design. We'll never go back to just two nacelles, they say. And so that is the ship that we will see. We'll see it is the USS Sempak is the name of it there. So with that in mind, when we do the captain's log, Rich, are we still outside the ship, or where do we see you, or do we shift inside? Where do we think we're going to see you in place here?
I think we have to stick with the traditional captain's log done from outside the ship. I don't think we've ever seen a captain delivering the captain's log like to a camera or to a pad or anything, right? Yeah,
It's always at least VO, but yeah.
it correct. Now, before I start, I just want to double check with you.
Yeah.
The name Callas. Were you thinking Calais or Callus, or how were you? How do you want that pronounced?
Oh, so his name is Callus Steele.
Callus. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But you can call me Cal.
No, thank you. Cool. Captain's log, stardate 2272. The Tempest has arrived at Triskelion. A decade ago, this world was famous for its brutal gladiatorial blood sports and the rule of the providers. Today, it presents a very different face to the galaxy, a center for entertainment, commerce, and tourism built atop the ruins of its violent past. Frankly, the crew could use the break. Shore leave has been overdue for weeks, and the Triskelion Galactic Games should offer at least a few of them the chance to burn off competitive instincts somewhere safer than my bridge. But our visit isn't entirely recreational. Starfleet intelligence has linked Triskelion's growing trade network to several dangerous smuggling operations moving through this sector. The Tempest has been tasked with investigating quietly under the cover of our official duties here. We won't be the only Federation presence on world. Commodore Callus Steele is expected to arrive aboard the USS Simpak, one of Starfleet's new Constellation class cruisers. Steele has a talent for turning every assignment into a personal victory lap. He's ambitious, competitive, and unusually well connected at command. More than one promising officer has disappeared from another captain's roster after a conversation with him. The last time our paths crossed, Steele came out ahead. He made certain everyone in the sector knew it. Something tells me this reunion won't stay friendly for long.
And let's cut to Commander Moreno. I'll tell you why, Tony, I want to cut to you. There are a variety of unusual athletic games that are happening here on Triskelion. Athletic games and non-athletic games both are occurring here. What is the odd game that you know and have trained in that they are holding a competition here for that? Like you can put your name in. What do you think that is? It's probably not Parisi squares. That's pretty common. Like what is it? And feel free not to even just name it to describe what it's made of.
I, or unusual. Uh,
Well, is it the Triskelion Triathlon? Because the Triskelion Triathlon begins with it's an indoor arena, like a coliseum, and the first part are laps atop a riding beast, and then you have to jump off on the second part and leap into the swim track that is made into an oval and do a full 2 laps around the swim, and then you have to come out and you have to do running and hurdles.
Yeah, we'll go with that. You can't see my face. It was reacting pretty well, but
Okay.
or
Uh,
buffer
s-
bloat or whatever.
so how do we see you on board the Tempest right now, preparing for this competition?
Oh, I think like we're down in the gymnasium and she's like been there after shift, before shift, like oh lunchtime, gotta go train. She's just training nonstop. She's got different officers there to like time her, for each time. As like, he's like, oh, we're doing laps in the pool. And it's like, no, no, I can do better. Do better.
Got their little tricorder stopwatch going there,
Hmm.
timing you out. Uh, Excellent. And I imagine that there are a number of other crew members who are preparing for other athletic contests. Tell me, Tony, who else of a named NPC that we've seen is preparing, and what do we see them doing?
Oh, Lieutenant Alexander Johnson, easily.
Okay, and what is Johnson doing?
I think he's doing yeah, a lot of endurance training. So like he's doing like the box jumps over and over again. Like with like the medicine ball, the old
Hmm.
60s medicine ball tossing. I think Lieutenant Tun's there. She's not competing, but she's competitive on the ship as
Right?
well. So
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, Anbo Jutsu is definitely on my list of things, because it is a measured thing. It is not a blood sport, so they will allow it on board. Uh, Commander Taven, Lieutenant Commander Taven, what do we see you doing? Are you preparing for shore leave? Are you inoculating crew members? Are you preparing for, are you doing three-dimensional chess boxing? Like what do you think?
Yeah, I do like the idea of three-dimensional chess boxing. The first thing that jumped to my mind, though, was that Tiven might be monitoring people's vitals and trying to optimize their food. So she is she is preparing menus for everybody and replicating probably things that don't taste great, but they will give you peak efficiency on the field.
Absolutely. How do you think that's going over?
Uh, I I I suspect maybe some people are cheating on their diets.
And I think we do cut in with you handing a thing, and we've seen him before, we see him again, and he has a sour look on his face, and Lieutenant Da Costa is staring at the menu thing that little like the little plastic square that you've handed him, the colored plastic square, and he's like, "This is optimal, sir."
Most optimal, Lieutenant. This will increase blood flow enough that you will be able to train more efficiently.
Is this diet regimen mandatory, sir?
How well do you wish to represent Starfleet, officer?
Very well. I always represent Starfleet very well.
Then it is not mandatory, but highly recommended.
Sir. And turns around and heads out. I think we probably see Barry shaking his head in the background, go, "Oh, buddy, this is not going to end well for anybody." Uh, Commander Chivilik, what do we see of you?
Uh, I am in security, and we have a bunch of red shirts there, like kind of gathered around like a conference table. And Chivilic is kind of Chivilic has that thing where like wide stance with like arms on kind of hands on the other side of the table, and arrayed in front of him is a colorful like cornucopia of inhalers, injectors, pills, vape pens and stuff like this. And he says, "All right, folks, this is Contraband 101 for all of you ensigns. Now, this, well, it's got several names. The Klingons call it," and he holds it up, "Dagger of the Mind." And clearly, like, Chivilic is giving them the how to identify all the different drugs when we get down there lecture, and we can just kind of cut away from that as he's like holding this up.
Absolutely.
"This will mess you up," he says. Yeah.
We get some fan service things to other bits and spray hypos and things that we've certainly seen before. I like that they are nodding along a group that's been kind of chosen to be the ones that are going to act like tourists and try to work their way around. Uh,
Chivilic is wearing the very shirt that I'm wearing right now. I feel
okay.
like that's probably
And Captain Escarra, where do we see you? What are you doing? By the way, yes. Yes, they have baseball as an event.
Of course they do. It's a civilized and well-regarded game. Historic, some might say. I think we see Escarra putting on a ball cap and kind of roughing up his glove, getting it ready to go. When it pans back, he's wearing a uniform, a little baseball uniform that we've maybe seen in the back of his closet on a couple of shots. Looks like he's going to go play.
Absolutely. I think we will, a message will come over from communications and Captain, incoming message from the Tellarite ship.
Go ahead.
And pop up on screen, you will see Captain Dogarath. She's an old classmate of yours. And you see her sitting there, and she has her glove and her baseball, and she's got her hat on, and she's like, Captain Escarra, we meet again.
Captain Dogarth. Look good. I am excited to meet you on the field.
I I am I am telling you now that I intend to make up for the whooping which you gave my crew last time that we met at Omicron 3.
We shall see. We shall see.
Well, if we have a chance before the game, well, we should at least toss the ball around for a bit.
That sounds great. I happy to go out with a little practice. We can shag some flies. Anything you want.
Sounds good. Sounds good. See you on planet. And she will comms off, and then you will get uh, a communique from essentially your communications officer says, Captain, the the Senpak is hailing us and asking that you come to visit. I think it's uh, and she kind of pauses. She says, "The intent. I understand it was supposed to be that the impression that was given was some sort of meeting between your senior people and theirs. It was phrased very oddly, sir.
Do you recall how it was phrased?
Tell Eddie to get him and his people over here onto my ship, so we can have a chinwag."
Yes, that sounds about right. Thank you for Transmitting that message as it was stated. I'm on my way.
So, Escarra, uh, what do we see you doing? I mean, do we want to cut to that?
Yeah,
If
I think
okay,
he's
then
still in his uniform,
who are
and
you taking with you then?
the Commodore's asked for this the my command crew. I think it's everyone we see here: Tavin, Tony, Abe, all
Okay.
of us coming to Chinwag.
And you will go down the transporter room and we'll see you beam over. Tell me, Jim, they have an even sexier transporter and it does an even sexier effect. So what is the transporter effect for the Sempak that the FX people have come up with?
Um, it's you know how so there's two things. And the first is that like you know how ours is kind of like "Wee," like it makes that kind of high-pitched whine.
Yeah.
Theirs sounds like wind chimes when you appear, right? It's this like jangle like right?
Nice.
That sound effect when you appear. And like when the beam comes in, as opposed to like us all being blue or green or something like that, it's like tinted with the color of our uniforms as we appear, right? So kind of so like they can see before even anybody appears, they know exactly who's going to be who and what rank they're going to be and stuff like that as we appear.
Excellent. And you will arrive at the transporter room and you will see a woman with the essentially the first officer, Commander Bars there. She will nod to you and she will say, I am Commander Trios. The captain couldn't be here to meet you. He asked that I would bring you up to the bridge. And there's maybe a little sigh as she says that. So if you'll follow me, Captain Escarra
Of course.
and company, and you are walked through this ship. Uh, it is beautiful. It is clean. You know, this is just a few years out. It doesn't have a lot of the wear and tear on it and stuff. And I think the other thing that you will notice is as you go through, there are a lot of ensigns that you'll see, uh, and a lot of ensigns who are really built, like athletically built. Looks like they're fresh out of the academy. Looks like all of them, were on their various athletic teams and things like that as you pass through here. And turbo lift, whoosh, and you will come out onto the bridge. Uh, Tony, tell me something about this bridge that is different, bigger, bolder, maybe even almost close to movie like of this bridge.
It's carpeted.
Okay. Very
Car
unusual. Carpeted. Okay.
yeah.
I think Ed was there's a moment where he looks down and half lifts his foot. He's not pleased.
I love it. And to Ven, Mike, what's another thing we see here that really differentiates it from the bridge on the Tempest?
I think the command chair is just significantly upgraded. It looks more plush, more comfortable. It's wider.
R-
Maybe it has more controls in the armrests, like it is.
Yeah, raised up even a little bit higher than it really
Yes,
needs
for
to be.
sure. Yes,
A little more
maybe
throne
steps
alike.
up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will see a figure spin around in that chair so they can face you as you come out of that, and you will see this tall, built man. I have a picture of him in the NPC tab. And he will go, Little Eddie Escarra, Captain now. It's good to see you.
Callous.
Kyle, just call me Cal. And he will stand up and stride around over to where you're at. You're looking fit.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce you to my command crew. This is
Yeah, tell me
Commander
all about them.
Commander Tony Moreno. She's my number one. This
Good.
is Commander Abe Tuvilik.
And
He is
Dorian, good, good, good.
communications. And Lieutenant Commander Tevin, medical
Ah, a Vulcan
science.
doctor. Now, how's your bedside manner there?
Sufficient.
Ha! 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 That's great. That sounds excellent. I'm
Sir,
really glad.
sir, I should inform you that in terms of being an Andorian, I've only got 1 foot in that particular pool.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's a story I'll have to hear later when we're having drinks. Ah, what do you think of her, Eddie?
She is beautiful, Cal. Quite a nice ship. Impressive. They spared no expense, it looks like.
Yes, the Constellation class. They're the the future of Starfleet as I see it. But I'm sure they'll get you the upgrade here soon enough. I've heard you've done good work.
Thanks. I have no complaints about the Tempest. Good ship, a good crew.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to these galactic games on Triskelion and to see what kind of legacy Kirk left behind. I've heard a few stories about what went on there.
I'm I've almost had Edwin say, I think he probably left behind quite a few children, but I think Edwin starts the thing and then doesn't. Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited, looking forward to this. Some of my people will be doing shortly, but for the most part, I have a crew that's raring to go to participate in these games.
Noticed your crew. A lot of fresh faces, a lot of ensigns.
I
This a
just
training boat?
happened to be at Starfleet Academy and had the opportunity to get my pick of the graduating class there,
Hmm.
and a few underclassed people, sort of the internship, the junior ensigns, to give them some
Hmm.
experience on a mission that isn't full of violence, turmoil, and stuff. The usual things that we bite off as we get out into the stars. But this is more of a chance to meet and greet and show to run the flag for the Federation, as it were.
It makes sense, Commodore. A fresh crew for a brand new ship. What could go wrong?
I can't see anything, not at all. And I think you'll see his first officer behind him is she desperately trying to keep her face as calm as possible through this. Well, I don't want to keep you too long, but Eddie, if we need to sit and talk and go over strategies or anything like that, we can do that. Or, this is a planet that's built on gambling and bets. Maybe later on we can talk about a few friendly wagers, ship to ship, captain to captain.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Well, I got to get my teams in order. I'll have Trios show you back down to the transporter.
Well, congrats on the command of such a beautiful ship.
Thank you. And he goes back to his chair and spins it around and starts pressing buttons like he's doing something, but he's really not. He's just waiting until you leave the bridge. Trios will walk you to the turbo lift and will say, I apologize. This meeting could probably have been done as a voicemail.
Edwin
Hmm.
actually snickers at that.
I don't think there's a need to apologize. It was wonderful to meet your captain and get the cut of his jib.
He certainly has a jib. And then she goes stone faced the rest of the trip
Yeah.
down before she takes you back down and you can transport over. Escarra, do you say anything to your crew or team when you get them alone, like after this?
I don't think, well, there is always that potentiality of other people, of people choosing other venues. He doesn't worry about losing them as much as them going to work at a place that they where they wouldn't be happy. So he does say something. There's a moment when we're on back on the the Tempest. I'm not going to speak ill of a captain on his own ship. Once we arrive, I say, it's a very pretty ship.
It's a bit extraneous.
Did you
What
feel
does the
like that?
ship?
Go
You
ahead.
first.
Please,
Uh,
Jolene, finish up, sir.
what does the ship need four nacelles for?
It's twice as
Uh,
many in cells.
Twice as many problems.
Duh.
Abe,
But
you were going to
Jim,
say something?
Did you, I felt like that was a good chin wag, sir. Did you feel like your chin wagged sufficiently?
I got to see him on his very nice looking ship. That's all that Cal wanted to accomplish.
So we can, and I look at and I look at Tony and I say, I'm sure Commander Moreno and I can work up, we can put in a requisition for one of those new chairs if you'd like.
I don't think we need one of those. It's got so many buttons. What do you? If you can't get by on the simplest and simpler things, why are you even a captain?
Tony, you're really tempting me with the idea of having that throne-like chair. Let me put it on. I'll put it on my to-do list to think about that. Give it a think. Tevin, you've been quiet. Everything all right?
Captain, I believe the carpets would be the more strategic choice. It will prevent slips during
It's a good point.
rocky
It's a
maneuvers.
fine point. It is not a thing that we'll do, but maybe he can write up a white paper on the value. I've received a few bits of commentary to about the recent recommendations of food cubes, I think, for the staff who are training for some of the games.
They have been optimally formulated for each crew member, Captain.
I don't doubt that, but there have been some questions about the taste, or more to the point, complete lack thereof. Anything you do to put some sugar or something in there?
Captain,
Spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Lieutenant Commander. It's an old
I
song.
will attempt it. It will throw off the nutritional benefits. It may need to be balanced with another flavor profile.
Well, I trust your expertise.
Captain, I believe the Commodore may have already committed a tactical error. By inviting us onto his ship, he gave us insight into the capabilities of his crew, and he seems to have optimized for mass rather than experience.
He does optimize for math. That's true. Do you have any recommendations? Or was it
It
merely
seems
an
as if
observation at this time?
it seems as if our greatest strength would be our experience.
Our experience, our teamwork, both of those will be strong assets. But it's the games. Participating is why we're here. We're here to have a good time. So push yourself, leave everything on the field. But remember, this is basically shore leave. Enjoy yourselves, rest, and win. Winning's good.
And I think we're going to cut to a scene of the command staff plus some NPCs beaming down. Now, I do want to pause here. We're going to have a lot of like letting you call scenes, setting up things here in a bit. I want to mention the thing that we mentioned before and encourage folks to pick up secondary characters, call meetings with secondary characters, push on that as you will in that, especially if you want to see them in athletic competitions, that kind of thing. The other thing, Jolene, turning the camera off doesn't seem to be impacting your voice. We're still getting the fry. So
well, Well, damn.
Just leave it on.
I think I need a new router or something.
Oh, that maybe.
Because I'm using not my old router, the house's router, because my landlord is paying for the internet.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I had to return mine.
Oh,
So,
you might also see if there's a router booster you could get,
okay.
like for signals, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in any case, so I just want to mention that's one of the things that's out there. We can go in a bunch of different directions, but I want to kind of frame up a little bit as you all beam down to Triskelion, and we see that you're arriving. We see the symbol of Triskelion. It has that weird sort of three-leg thing there, very classic. We see other groups beaming in. In the background, we've got a beautiful map painting of a sci-fi city. And maybe we would get one of those shots that they do in Next Gen where we see the planet, the city from a little bit above, and we can see that like there are multiple stadiums. Oh, look, here's a snow-covered mountain they built over here, for skiing. Here are baseball diamonds. Like there are it is Space Olympics all over here on this planet, a big pools and all kinds of that kind of thing. And you will beam down, and there will be a woman there in a silver suit bikini thing there with a great mane of purple hair. And you will see that she has this collar on there that goes around. And you will see there are other people. Uh, Most people aren't wearing this kind of thing, but this looks like this must be some kind of tour guide outfit that they've got on. Most people aren't dressed in the silver bikinis. They are in more variety standard clothing, but you do notice, as people are going by, that they do have those collars on with the weird triangular shape and the torque that goes around the back. And you will be greeted. And she will say, I am Beshnea. I am your tour guide. Welcome, crew of the Tempest. You are the command staff. We are welcome to have you. We have prepared some documentation and we've received your list of participations and we are getting those arranged. As you can imagine, this first 24 hours, we will be working to get all of the people in place. If any of your crew wishes to stay at our special athletes village, they are welcome to do that. They will be comped free of charge. They will not have to pay for room, board, and so on, and they will receive free bettors tickets and tokens while they are there. Otherwise, we've made other arrangements for those of your people who wish to go on shore leave. Now, I'm going to show you around Triskelion City. And she will move you out, but she'll say, "But wait, who is that? Wait, a surprise celebrity guest?" And she'll turn, and you will see floating up this great big sphere. And you will see this sphere floating up, and you will see this glowing red brain in a sphere. Hello, crew of the Federation, Tempest. I am Provider One. Greetings and welcome. You can bet your life that I am very excited to have you here. Captain Escarra, right?
That's right, Provider One.
Excellent. We're very glad. As you know, we have the utmost respect for the Federation and what they have done to us. I mean, done for us in evaluating and advancing our civilization here. So I just wanted to tell you, as a captain of a Federation starship, that should you need anything, you have merely to reach out to Provider One. I am here for you. Just know that. Absolutely. The other providers, they are scum. Me, I'm the best. So just know that. I have been assigned to take care of you and your needs throughout this particular endeavor. I'm sure you're going to have questions later on, and I am here to answer. You can come anytime to the Hall of the Providers.
Thank you so much, Provider One. I can see why they made you number one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have to get back to business. Lots of betting, lots of planning, lots of competing and scheming against my rivals. So I will see you later. Bye. and it will take off.
That's a celebrity, Tony. Be mindful.
I will keep that in mind, Ed.
So I do think we get a montage of you being shown around various stadiums and things like that. This is the major city on the planet. There are Triskelions. They are mostly humanoid, but again, the Triskelions also, before everything went down, they were kidnapping people from all over the galaxy. So there are a variety of peoples around and about here. You also see definitely that there are parties from other groups. There is an Andorian delegation, as I mentioned, a Tellarite delegation that you'll see in passing. The Captain Daggorath, I think is what I said there, will Daggorath will wave over to you, Captain Escarra. You will also see there is a kind of, and I imagine this is a path cross thing. You will see a group of Orions. They are notable that whoever is their leader is not wearing a shirt.
Nice.
And he is walking, his skin glistening, and he will look and he will say, "Look, Federation."
Nice to meet you. It
Uh,
is wonderful to see some Orion folks here competing. I assume you're competing?
Absolutely, I am Tharaz. I am the athletic leader of the Orion's president here. I hope, and he'll lean in close. I hope that we can have some good competitions.
Oh, I'm sure of it, Tharaz.
Absolutely. Well, uh, see you on the field, if not before then. And he will head off. I think we also do see, probably watching this, maybe a little bit askance, shaking their heads, is a group of Cardassians. They are not dressed in what we would imagine fully as the next gen outfits. Does the design and look like that, but they may be a little bit less martial. Like that's been toned down a little bit for these because the military government coup hasn't occurred yet at this point in time. But the Cardassians are in a bad position, and we can talk about that later. But they will cross paths, and then we'll get set up. So let's let's go around and give everybody a chance to call a scene here. Um, let's start with Captain Escarra. What do you want to where do you want to be? Do you want to have a scene with some of your crew people? Do you want to have a scene on the baseball field? Do you want to do something else? What do we want to see you doing?
I think we'll go ahead and get the baseball stuff out of the way. I don't want anything to build up to the baseball game. It is just for fun. He's there to compete. It's
Okay.
a little bit like a beer league softball thing. Like Edwin Arskara is not a captain who is driven like, say, other captains to prove supremacy in a game for fun.
So
So,
yeah.
so
So
yeah.
who the Tellarites have their team,
Hmm.
Daggeroth, asked kind of apparently asked to make sure that you two were paired up on. She's got her team. She has the same attitude. She learned baseball from you at the academy. She picked it up as a sport there, came to appreciate it. Uh, uh, who is on your team that we've seen before in the show?
Let me throw this out to our three players. Are there any folks that you would like to portray as being part of? Okay.
Yeah. I would like to introduce a new character, Lieutenant
Okay.
Riza Eku.
Okay.
She's like the requisitions officer, and she's a trill, so she's very good at uh, bargaining and reading people, but not like she doesn't have the talent bargain like Jim has. She has the merchant talent because I get to give them one improvement when I introduce a character. So if people ever need whatever that thing says, we can she have an excuse. Fine. Yes, it is. It is Claudia Black.
Stunt casting with
Yes.
Claudia Black. Love it.
Yeah.
Uh, so what position does Lieutenant Aku play?
I'm going to say a catcher.
Okay. So Lieutenant Aku is there, got the
All right,
full
Echo,
faceplate.
put on the tools of ignorance.
And Captain Escarra, you want to play, so you're sort of coach, but you also play. What position do you play? Are you
I
first
think
baseman,
Escarra,
pitcher,
he means the hot corner. He's on third base.
third base? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh Jim, what NPC or even yourself, do we see here in this moment?
Yeah, give me a second. I like the idea. Um, uh, that it turns out that uh Dr. Dexter's daughter was like a championship level softball player.
Okay.
And so she's gonna pitch, but underhanded.
Okay. Absolutely. She's there. You can tell that some of the baseball talk, I think, the extra daughter, you've maybe because you do want to maybe show up a scar a little bit, so you want to kind of show some of your skills there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Mike,
I would love to bring our Chief of Engineering, Lieutenant Takahashi, who has a focus in intimidation. So I think
okay.
she is just shouting at the other team about how badly they're going to do. And I don't know, what's a good position for somebody shouting at everybody? Is it first baseman?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So first base there. Uh
Yeah,
so
because when you're on first, you spend a lot of time talking to the runner who's there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's like, yeah.
yeah.
so Captain Escarra, I think that this is going to be a test. I think this
Roll
is
dice
you.
for baseball. This is
Yeah.
great.
I think this is uh I think it's going to be command. What do
Okay.
you think is the appropriate attribute to use with that?
Fitness, right?
Fitness.
It's
Okay.
yeah, we're participating in a sport.
Fitness plus command and team dynamics applies to this because you are rolling for managing the team in this.
All right. That sounds
Okay.
great.
So,
All right. I will be rolling a 2d20. Oof,
yep,
to 3d20. And I am so the focus just applies. I don't need to spend for it, right? It just
correct.
is the thing. Okay, great.
Fives or less are crits on this.
And
Ugh.
help as catcher and her psychology focus.
Yeah,
Cool.
That is terrible. That is 2 failures.
2 failures.
Well, I don't think the help will help then.
Nope.
Nope. Uh, Captain,
Should have spent
do
determination.
you want to spend your
Dadgum.
determination to reroll?
Yeah, I do. I do. Wait, let's see. How does my thing go? Sorry, I got to remember how.
So what you do when you use a value to spend or gain determination, you're going to add a momentum to the pool, and you also have a chance to regain that that
As a
determination.
veteran, right? Yeah. Okay. I think I'm leaning on the value of good leaders get their hands dirty. I'm on the field trying to
Okay.
help us, coach us to victory. Man, why did I say fitness? I'm just, ugh, I should have been thinking
I
more
gave you a
tactical.
chance, man.
I know you did. It's in my hands. It's in my hands. It's my fault, but it is a fitness thing. So here we go. Oh, good. That's 2 successes.
2
Almost.
successes.
But I need to do the roll to see if I recover that.
Yep. Roll 1d20.
Okay, so 1d20. Here we go. 13.
No, you
think
don't recover that.
Okay. Spent.
Tony, why
Selfish.
don't you roll a d20 for your assist?
Sure. Is it insight and command
I like that. Yeah.
under with psychology?
Yeah.
Well, there's two successes then.
Two successes. Okay. And let's see, we will roll for our uh
Rezu's definitely trash talking at the when they're up to bat too.
so two momentum. You beat them with two momentum, which is significant. So I think there is some uh scoring. So I'm going to put that momentum in the pool. Uh
Also, there's one more because of Faith of the Heart. I spent
yeah, somebody put that in there already. Yeah,
oh,
it
you
looks
did?
like
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Thank you. Sorry.
yeah.
Thank you.
Um
Thank you.
so what do we see? I want everybody to give me a chance to like to describe something that we see your character doing, like a highlight moment from their play. So, uh, Mike for Takahashi on first base. Is it the intimidation? Is it a really good throw? Is it blocking a run or sliding in? Like, what do we see?
Yeah, I think it is just staring down. Rather than watching where the ball is, she's just staring down somebody as they run to first base and then holds out the glove, catches the ball, and just tags them out as they come in. I think
Perfect.
they hesitate, and that gives her enough time to just step in and take them out.
And what do we see of Dexter's daughter? Like what is the highlight reel moment for her?
Like they see her warming up and she's doing that underhanded like the twirl arm softball pitches. And those don't get faster than about 70 miles an hour, right? So they're all looking at it going, we're gonna shellac this chick. But then when they get out there, it's got like the ball has so much torque and spin on it that like unless they hit it perfect, it's like they're like a lot of pop fouls and like they're sure they're gonna nail it, but it just goes like twirling off to the just like right to the third baseman and stuff like this and everything. So like she's not striking people out, but it's like facing a knuckleballer or something like that, right? Yeah. And
Absolutely. Is
yeah,
she a
and so we just
righty or or a
montage of that.
southpaw?
She's a righty. I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? This is like we're in the future here. She can throw it with either hand.
Okay. Switch swaps up from time to time. They
Yeah,
get
and
the
and 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 like she just like does a little thing where she like flicks her wrist and her there's a little transporter effect where her gloves goes woo and then woo and appears on the other hand whenever she needs to switch. So yeah.
It's a
I
six
love it.
finger glove, right? Because she needs to have the thumb on either side. Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. And for our catcher, what is the highlight reel moment for you?
I think there's like a lot of close-ups of her talking, just trash talking the batters. Like, oh, you think you're gonna hit this? Are you sure you're not gonna choke like you did in negotiations last year?
Yeah. Of course, it is Tellarites. So the second that you engage them, they kind of have to stop. But I think I imagine that the clock goes down on the batter clock. Does I think that
It's
eventually
awesome.
their captain has to come out and go, look, don't engage with the catcher. Don't engage with the catcher. Just let it go. I know it goes against everything you believe as a Tellarite, but you just gotta let him have it. Okay.
And because it's Claudia Black, she's got that classic shit-eating grin every time.
Absolutely. And Escarra, what is the highlight reel moment for you in the ninth?
Oh, in the ninth, top of the ninth, and they have two men on and two outs. There is a pop up that is headed out of the bounds of play, and Escarra is going after. He calls for it. He calls for it. Our left fielder is coming in as well, and he ends up having to go out into the stands, right? And he's able. He has 1 foot down as he catches it, but he flips over, and there's a moment. Oh no! Did everyone get hurt? And he pops up and holds up the ball.
And there's the instant replay. They've got it on the screen to show you absolutely caught it. There was no contact with the ground, and the crowd goes wild. There is an audience. You can see that as this has gone on, The Triskelions, they love athletic competitions and they love great displays of athletics, and so you will definitely generate a cheering crowd there. And let's take our first break as you walk off the field there. Let's take 10 and then we'll be back. So get another shot of the background, the matte painting of the city, and so on. Post baseball game. Tven, what scene would you like to call?
So I think we had an option of staying in the village associated with the games for
Yeah.
free, which seems like the optimum solution. Um, I would like to see who Taven's been bunked with in that village.
Oh, do you think it's a local? Do you think it's one of the outside people? What would you do? You want to express uh, a a choice, or do you want me to throw something at you?
I'm happy to go either way. I think the funniest option is if it ends up being Lieutenant Da Costa. But it could be anyone.
Well, it's up to you. Which way do you want to go?
I'll leave it in your hands.
Okay. Let's let's save Da Costa for the moment. Uh, but let's actually have you uh, bunked with, because the Federation people are clearly are given, you have the sense of a sort of small place of honor here, maybe a little bit above the others, and you will be bunked with one of their uh, athletes from the Triskeli, from one of the factions. You will notice that they have the same collar as the others, but you can see that it is outlined in blue on the outside of that, and uh, you know, big, 6 foot tall woman. She comes in. She's clearly been, at some kind of game that involves having armor on and stuff. She might have been doing that, the jutsu game. It has the helmet and everything. She sets that down and she'll look over, notices that you're there, and she will say, "I am Ladeth, but you may call me Kictory. That is my game name."
Interesting. Is a game name mandatory?
No, it is not. But if you have one, the crowd will cry it out loudly, and more bets will be placed upon you, and the economy of our society will increase.
And how does one achieve one of these names?
One has victory in multiple sports, competitions, arenas, all of these things. You, who are you? What is your name? What are you called where you come from?
I am Taven.
Taven. That is a strong name. It has two vowels at the front. If we were in one of the word competitions that were to allow for proper names, a T and a V next to one another, oh, the scoring.
I look forward to earning my own name.
What events or event are you playing in? Are you participating in? Are you here? Or are you merely an observer from your strange and far off land in the dots and lights in the sky? I know they're called stars,
I
but it's more poetic when I say it this way.
Indeed. I will be participating in the three-dimensional chess boxing.
Oh, that is most excellent. You will probably face one of my cousins. He is called Zobur, but most call him Juggernauty.
Do you have any strategic advice for when I face off against Juggernauty?
Yes, he's a little bit weak on the left side, so I would come in from the left. And also, he doesn't know how to play the real mid game. If you can lock him down on that in that middle tier of the three-dimensional chess, like that's where he is weakest. He'll try to keep that as stable as possible and play on the upper and lower tiers more.
Thank you for that excellent advice, Kictory.
We should go to the commissary. They will feed us as much as we could possibly want. We should take advantage of this.
I have a very regimented dietary routine. Will they be able to accommodate my requests?
Well, we'll have to find out, won't we? She'll walk
Please.
you down like, what is your dietary regime? Are you a pure soy person? I know there are people that do that. Do you do purges? Or is there are you a full protein intake person? There's some people who use it intravenously.
It
It's not a
requires a
medical
variety of different
condition.
intakes at different times.
Oh, okay. But it's not a medical condition for
I
your
would not
people.
describe it as a condition.
Oh, okay. I see. To watch out when you see people. Sometimes when people have weird diets, you want to keep an eye on them because they might be taking something outside of the bounds. You know what I mean?
That would be unsportsmanlike.
See, that is what I say. That is what I say. But there are a few things on Triskelion that are frowned upon. One of them, of course, is interfering with another contestant in your contest. You can push yourself as much as you want, but you cannot interfere or try to disable the other contestant. That is bad, sabotage, that kind of thing. And also, games of chance. Ugh, the worst. Uh, Disgusting. Those are things that are frowned upon. But I also think it is unsportsmanlike to use things that are expensive, that most people couldn't have, that wouldn't have access to, or that might be considered contraband. I do not care for that. That is not the route to victory.
Indeed. Might I ask you a question, Kictory, about your jewelry? And she kind of reaches up to touch her throat where...
Ah, yes. Well, this is our debt collar.
A debt collar.
Yes,
It is
as
meant
you can
to-
see, mine is white. I don't have debt.
I see.
There are many people, unfortunately, that enjoy the games and the gaming and the betting too much. So their collars will show that they have perhaps overstepped the bounds of what is allotted. I mean, each month beyond your pay packet, you are given betting tokens. You should be able to manage yourself with just that. But there are some people that cannot control themselves. And so if someone has a black collar, you do not make a bet with them because they will not be able to pay. And of course, puts them, it can go into indentured servitude and that kind of thing. That's not cool either. But we don't really talk about that. The providers frown on that. But as I understand it, the economy itself is a great beast that not one person or even three giant brains can control.
To clarify, do the providers frown upon indentured servitude or discussion of indentured servitude?
Can't it be both?
Yes, I suppose it can.
And it is both. Here, try these. These are like a potato, but they have been mashed together into a thing, and a great deal of dairy has been put into them. They are the richest and most delicious of carb-filled foods. And splat some onto your tray there.
And Tiven will pull out a tricorder and scan everything before
Okay.
she eats.
And I think it is like a lot of people are looking at you. There are some of the other crew people, but I think we get a shot of, you've got trays. Many people have things heaped with all kinds of food. The production department has gone all out to provide a variety of weird looking food on these trays here for people. So I'm gonna cut from you. We'll come back and check in with you. Uh, Commander Chivilik, what scene do you want to call?
Um, I think we have the scene I want to call is Abe, along with a couple of oh, and you know who I think I would want to have with me on this one? Um, this is like a security thing. So if
Hmm.
anybody wants to play, I mean, I'd have Johnson with me on this.
Hmm.
And probably um uh maybe Tund as well.
That makes sense. So where do we see you three?
Um, we are at a um like it's a bar.
We're in bad side, are we?
We're in bad side. We're in
Okay.
bad side.
There is a starport here, and I think we
Yeah,
see a little bit of that background. They've taken some inspiration from the Mos Eisley stuff
yeah.
to do that, and we're in kind of a bar, darkened there.
I I want this to be more like a college beer joint.
Okay,
It may even be like open like out on the street under tents or something like that. It's more like
okay,
a beer garden than a
absolutely,
than like a people in the corner like making drug
sure.
deals kind of thing,
uh, Beautiful colored cloths. Everything is in the blue, green,
Yeah.
yellow, and red of the providers. That's the big color scheme. The Triskelion is everywhere. Um, Lots of people drinking, talking there. A lot of tourists.
And this is where like the three of us are sitting there and we're talking and like we see a gaggle of um uh what's the name of the other ship? The other starship.
The Sempak?
The Sempak. That's the fancy ship is the
Yeah.
Sempak, right? And we see a bunch of those like just out of the academy meatheads from the Sempak, right? Whatever, like 8 or 10 of them. And Chivilik raises an eyebrow and like clearly giving them like a I told you so look. And he does the, two fingers in his mouth, whistles to get their attention and like waves them over.
They'll
And this
come
is,
over cautiously.
yeah, yeah. Um, uh, and the three of us are like, holy moly, we saw your ship. It is amazing. How did you, you guys are so lucky to be on an amazing ship like that.
And I think the guy who looks like the most jock in an 80s film person will kind of they have their uniform around their shoulders like a sweater.
Yeah.
But they'll say, well, you know, uh, Captain Cal came through just before graduation, and we were doing all the end of year sports events and things like that. So he came to sports day, and like he was hand picking us for a chance to be on this. He grabbed some of the juniors. They're just on for this tour, but we've been told if we do well in this, we'll have a permanent place on board that ship.
That is Uh, I mean, we went over there with Ed. Sorry. Uh, uh, we went over there with Eddie. Sorry, Captain Escarra, and he was like, "Oh, we got back." Like his face was green.
Who wouldn't be? I mean, have you seen that captain's chair?
Yeah, I
Apparently, it's custom. It wasn't even the one that was assigned on the ship when they first got it. He had it brought in.
I would be afraid to like that I would take a nap if I sat down in that thing.
Oh, you know, but nobody but even when Trios is on the bridge, she sits at the con station. She doesn't sit in the captain's chair.
Oh my God, I we're here because I did you guys see our Vulcan doctor when we came on board?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. What that's like.
So
We had some Vulcan
she
instructors. I can't
she's
imagine a doctor.
she's an amazing doctor, but as soon as Eddie, sorry, Captain Escarra said that everybody needed to be on their best behavior for for the games, she put everybody on this unbelievable new diet. Like you would think with replicators and, like we have access to whatever artificial flavors we want, right? No, like it seems like just because some of us are going to be playing hockey, she thought we should all be eating pucks.
Uh, so, Jim, I
And
think you can go back and forth on this. What
yes,
is your
but
goal here from this
yeah,
conversation?
my goal here for this conversation is be like, it sucks. I'm sure you guys, oh, we've all been drinking nothing but synthahol, but this place, let me tell you. And the goal is to get them all so shit-faced that they're hungover when it comes time for the events tomorrow.
Okay. I think that is presence plus command. Uh, I don't think you have a focus that's appropriate here, but I think it does work. Um, Jolene, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if Tun can assist by challenging them to like drinking contests, like the
Abs
short Tellarite.
Yeah.
It's like you call that a drink?
100%.
Let's have you do that with fitness plus security, I think is
That makes
appropriate for
sense, yeah.
you. So 2d20 for Chivilic, and then you'll do an aid die there. What is Johnson's mood or approach while this is going on, Rich?
I think Johnson wasn't in on Abe's plan, and so he spends the first several minutes of this, like occasionally camera shots back to him of like, I can't believe Abe's saying this about our ship, and just, wow, oh my gosh, he's nervous. He's just a little bit of sweat on his brow. He's, and then when Abe, these guys are getting really drunk. He's slowly catching on. Johnson is like with the audience of like, oh wait, there's a plan.
Perfect.
I
I
like to
love it.
think that Tun's not totally aware of the plan, but yes, a competition.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be a fight.
So looking at the where is our momentum and threat actually at? Is it
It's
3-8
three and
right now?
eight.
That's
Yep.
what we got?
Yep.
Okay. So so I'm
One
rolling
hit
what?
from
I'm
Tun.
I'm rolling
2d20. And
yeah.
right now you are looking for a 16 or less.
So yeah, presence plus command.
And
All right.
if you
Yeah, my
if you
focuses
get
don't really
no, if
yeah,
you
I
get
don't
one
know if I have.
success, then tons success will add in.
Yeah, so I'm going to burn one of our momentum to add an extra die, I think.
Okay.
One,
I'll take that down to
two,
2.
three. And let me roll these guys and see how I do. Oh, that's looking good.
One,
I
two,
think that's
three.
four. No,
So
that's three. Three,
so
that's right, because the
four
two doesn't get me an extra.
successes.
Yes, yeah.
So we'll put drunken team as a trait here.
Done and done.
That you've got 2 momentum.
Mhm.
Then you could either put that back in the pool,
I'm gonna
ask
put one.
questions.
I'm gonna put one in the pool,
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask a question, which is, um, like, uh, what has their captain told them is like the thing that he's like like that's his sure bet that they're gonna, like that he's counting on them to come through in. Like what does he consider their a lock for them? Like what event or contest is that?
Uh, he's gotten people ready for that triathlon.
Yeah.
Like that
Okay.
is the big thing. There are a couple of heats of it, and he's gotten athletes that have been working and preparing, people who do the Ironman runs and all of that kind of stuff. People from heavy gravity planets, and has really handpicked a team that he thinks is going to absolutely run over them. And a number of them are in this group here.
Yeah, and Chivilic delivers a master class in like bringing the drink up to your mouth to start to go to like start to sip it and then say, "Oh, and one other thing," like that, right? As they're all just like slugging them down. So,
Absolutely. I love it. And then Tony, let's come to you. What scene do you want to call?
God, I had all this time to prepare and I didn't. Um, I want actually, I'm gonna pick up my new character again,
Okay.
Lieutenant Reza, and like I like to imagine this in the editing order right after Taven's scene. It was like, oh, there's a lot of people that like do a lot of betting and games of chance, and that's when we cut to Reza getting
Okay.
involved in all of the betting and gambling going on, and she's like, all right, so what are like, is there like she's looking over the odds and like reading about whatever people are talking about the teams and the competitions.
You will realize that
Like I think she's like
like they
going
do
with
have a new
another.
yeah, they do have a news service here. You can see the webpage for that, but the vast majority of the communication system seems to be devoted to bets and odds and gambling and tracking qualoons up and down and analysis. You can see that there's a whole like immediately articles about your teams. And like they clearly have scouts and people that just go and assess that. And so that's all the local news. And then the national news is people betting on engineering projects and developments and things like that. It looks like everything is gamified. Uh, uh, it looks like nothing that's like they don't bet on what the weather's going to be, but they bet on things that have people working or doing or acting or involved with it. Uh, and it looks like you would say a great many people here on the planet are addicted.
Mike, would you be willing to be Taven in this with me?
Yeah, sure.
So, Lieutenant Commander, didn't you say there was problems? That's what the torques were about, and the gambling and betting.
They seem to represent the amount of debt that the person has gained from betting on the games.
Do we know who actually is in charge of this planet? Because this seems to now be a society run entirely like what was it, the old Vegas from Earth history books?
I believe we were greeted by one of the providers, in fact, provider one, when we arrived.
Well, yes, we were greeted by the providers, but are the providers behind all of this?
I do not know.
Because this seems like a very Orion thing as well. Or I don't think the Ferengi have been introduced yet, so I
No,
can't mention them.
It seems as if they have replaced slavery with a form of indentured servitude.
All right. Is there a way to look up the past winners of these various games?
yeah, yeah. There's a ton of historical records and analytics on everything. Imagine that there's a baseball almanac about almost everything here.
Okay. Yeah, I think she's going to be looking for like, are there common trends of like clearly, you know, the common trends of bet certain teams winning, or the classic method of like certain teams losing when they were the lock to win.
Let's have you make a reason plus science roll. Does that seem reasonable?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And let's see. Uh, trying to think of making up a focus on the spot, but I can't think of one for this. So,
Data analytics.
oh, okay, yeah, that works good. There we go. So, looking for 13s, three are under.
Do you
Will
want to spend a momentum?
sure.
Okay. Take momentum down to 2.
There's one, two, three successes.
3 successes. So, what is the first thing that you really want to know here?
Um,
Is it rigged? I think that's the question
yes.
they're
Are the
asking.
games fixed?
No,
Does the
it does.
house always
No,
win?
no, that's a different question.
Oh, damn. Well, I'll use that as
Are the
one.
games rigged? It does not look like the games are rigged. And it looks like because of the nature, like everybody's into gaming and analytics and things like that, it would be hard to rig things. There are anomalies and stuff like that, but they fall within the expected range. I'm going to answer the sort of the second question, and I'm going to give you one more.
Okay.
Uh, does the house always win? Yes, because it looks like all of this gambling and stuff, like it is the government that runs all of this. So all of that money and stuff ends up going back to the providers who then dole it out onto projects and things like that. It is a very dangerous economy in that essentially they're using gambling to go back into the system and kind of do it that way. Um, eh, they are going to eventually need to get some other economic elements in here, some other economic engines in place. This is kind of a house of cards. Now, mind you, they are doing other things. That's probably why they're kind of courting other outside peoples to come in and do mining and stuff, and they're building a space base. But
Selling land rights,
it would take some wild if something wild were to happen and some bets, big bets on big things were to fall through, the dominoes could be very bad.
Yeah. If somebody knew how to manipulate this to force them into debt, it wouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, if they would have to work hard, it would take a while, but it could be engineered.
Mhm.
You were already thinking about ways that you could do that. What's your third question?
Um, what here should I be on the lookout for?
The Cardassians being here is kind of unusual. They are. This is not the kind of thing that they would normally participate in. They've become more expansionist in the last few years, uh, like colonizing other planets, taking them over in their stellar empire to try and extract resources to deal with the problem that the Cardassia Prime is resource starved and is kind of collapsing. And they're sending out sort of Cardassian noble families out to do this. Sending here seems weird, uh, and and that kind of twigs for you. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, no, totally.
What do you say to Taven? Like, what do we see after this sort of montage of you investigating?
So I'm worried that I'm worried that this their government, their foundation of their economy is not sustainable, and someone could take over if they wanted to machinate it to force them into debt so they could rescue them. This could be an ideal location for another society to take over.
I believe that would require a great deal of effort, but I could see it. Have you discovered evidence of this?
Well,
Or
it's
is it
mostly just
more hypothetical?
it's hypothetical. Uh, there's the Cardassians here, but I don't know if they're really into the subtle machinations of rigging the game so to force someone into debt and bankruptcy to owe them. But them being here is odd.
It is
It's
intriguing.
it could be potentially an Emerald Chain plot, but we don't really have we but we have didn't we hear report didn't I believe Commander Chivilic mentioned an investigation that might be happening in one of the security briefings. So
That
I think
was more related to illicit materials being shipped through this sector.
mm, right. Right. Well, it's something I think we should pass along upwards. And if the providers were willing to become more work with the Federation, potentially we could help prevent this from happening, but that's well beyond my pay grade.
Lieutenant Reza, would you try this? And Taven hands you one of the nutrition cubes. I have added a chocolate reduction to try and improve the flavor.
Oh, you reduced the chocolate? There was chocolate before?
No, no, there is concentrated chocolate added to improve the
Oh,
flavor.
okay. Well,
And
you
in order
know,
to keep the nutritional balance, it has been uh, included with balsamic vinegar.
and like she's already biting as you say that, and she just gives like the dirtiest. Maybe you should work with Chef.
And I think we will cut away on that note, remembering that we do have an NPC chef on the ship who's probably furious about what's going on there with Taven's menu programs. Captain Escarra, what scene would you like to call?
Sorry, I'm still thinking about chocolate or reduced chocolate balsamic. Yeah. Um,
Do you want to talk to somebody from one of the crews? Do you want to talk to somebody from the government here? Uh, do you want to watch a sports thing? Like, what do you think you want to do?
um, looking at our mission goals and competing and performing well is high up there. So thanks a lot, Abe, for making that less likely. That's okay. Surely for the crew, seems like it's kind of happening. Investigating the smuggling of prohibited substances is one of our mission goals. I don't know if Tavin would have reported what Kictory shared, or I don't want to snake that from you, but I think we can just let Tavin go after that.
Mhm.
So secondary mission goals and Dorian and Tellarite delegations, as well as the Cardassian Union sending representatives, and possibly the Orions. So I think Captain Escarra is going to approach the Cardassian representatives and try to spark start up a conversation, gather a little info, make an impression, find out what their goals are here, etc., etc. So that's frame up a scene. I see we have, is it Gillis or
Gillis Cole.
Gillis
She
Cole?
seems to be in charge. And I think when you kind of ask around, you will find out that she and a couple of other Cardassians are staying kind of in the VIP quarters, but kind of unusually, uh, uh, she has like all the other Cardassians are actually staying in the Olympic Village, which is kind of unusual for Cardassians. Um, but when you kind of ask around, Gillis Cole would be honored to meet with a captain from a Federation ship, uh,
Yeah,
and we'll meet with you, in like the nice lobby cafe kind of thing that they have at one of these beautiful beautiful hotel things, and
nice.
she has a gull with her, but seated back discreetly, and she will greet you, Captain Escarra, of the Tempest.
That's correct. It's a pleasure to meet you, Gillis Cole.
Ah, yes, I am in charge of our particular. I am perhaps I'm not exactly a coach, more of a manager, shall we say?
I see. I see. Well, it is customary for a meeting such as this that I bring a little something. So he like shows he's got a little bottle of some brandy, unless he would do that bit of research, right? Because his bit of his history.
Cardassians have very strange tastes.
Yeah, that's right. So, what would be an appropriate
You will have gone
libation?
to the spaceport duty free shop and gotten like the I can't remember what they call the Cardassian drink. There is that sort of thick drink that they like. Um, uh, and brought that, and she will thank you, and she will say, I apologize. I am unfamiliar with your Federation customs. I did not bring a gift here, but I appreciate the
Quite all right. Thank you. Thank you very much for thinking of that. It is my pleasure.
uh I had the opportunity to meet with your fellow. I understand he's a Commodore, and yet he says that we should address him as Captain. I don't understand that that
Primary language being English, it is a pidgin language, and so there are a lot of confusing aspects to what we
but as I
speak here.
understand it, Commodore is more highly ranked than Captain, so why would he uh, what would be the reason why one would not present one's is it a deception?
Wouldn't say that it is an active deception as much as a preference. Uh, Cal is the non-standard officer within the Federation.
Hmm. I'm not certain I take your meaning, but I will file that away.
Cal's a unique individual. There, is that better, clearer?
Oh, all right. So you are playing in the baseball?
I am playing in the baseball. It's been quite enjoyable.
We
You're a manager. What are you managing? What sport
we
as your
have
team?
we have a number of people who have some skills in a few of the local games. We have a few smaller scale athletic competitions that we engage in, but uh, Damjat, uh, you might know it as space billiards. We're quite good at. There's a good Katra tournament, which is what you might call a board game. We also
Hmm.
play Space Masters of Kazan 5 is another one that has become popular. So we have engaged with that. And of course, pod racing.
Pod racing.
Yes. Uh, uh, there is a fascination with home crafted vehicles within certain limitations. We've always enjoyed that on our own home planet, and so there is a minor pod racing tournament that goes on that we are participating in.
Sounds thrilling.
It is not to my taste. I am not a pilot as such, but I understand that it will provide a certain level of excitement for others.
What's your favorite uh event then?
Uh, I prefer a more of a strategic game.
Neat.
And she will describe essentially a Euro game kind of thing with a lot of bluffing and hidden information and such. Like it's a real kind of cutthroaty game that she describes. That's that's really my forte.
Face to face.
Space diplomacy. It is the worst game ever made.
It ruins friendships. It's perfect.
I have a sense that maybe you're trying to get a read on her,
I
right?
am. I am
Okay.
certainly trying to get a read on her as a person,
Yeah.
and then I'll move to politics and stuff like that.
So let's do insight plus command.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm going to let you use cultural studies here as a focus.
I was going to ask. I was going to ask. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
14/5 then.
14/5 sounds good to me. Here come two dice. It was bouncing on
I
the
know.
18 and then it went boop, 8. So that is two successes.
Two successes. So what's the first thing you want to know? You know, she's talking with you, she's exchanging. She has the impression that she is giving away less than she actually is. Uh, what's your first question?
I'm going to stick to the order of events as I laid it out, meaning I want to get to know more about her. Is there, do I get any sense that she is enjoying herself or is this a mission?
This is definitely a mission for her. There is something going on. She's orchestrating some things. That she definitely has that attitude. Yeah, and she plays it off as just athletic competition, but you can definitely see that there's more going on there.
More going on as in the athletic competition is a cover for something else. And if you want to count that as a second question, that's fair.
I think more that uh that that yeah that there's something going on that the athletic competition is certainly hiding.
It's like I Spy, where you pretend you're a tennis pros, but in
Right.
reality, you're traveling
Oh,
across
I
the
spy.
countries.
There's a deep cut, bud. So what's your second question?
Second question. Why are, what is the official reason? No, because I could find official reasons. So, what is she worried might happen?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
She's embedded her people throughout the athletic village, and her people are not involved in a lot of the heavy athletic competitions. And she's clearly nervous that that will be obvious to you, or you will figure that out. The Cardassians are clearly doing something, and she's worried that you will see why she has dispersed her people in that way. And I think that to give you the second part of that, the reason she's been more open with you and with a lower difficulty is clearly that she spoke with your peer, Cal, and came away with a much lower opinion of the Federation's skills. Does that seem reasonable?
Thanks, Cal, for lowering the bar for me. I got to hop over that. It's good stuff.
Uh, let's take our second break. Let's take 5. We'll do a little bit in this next thing to kind of frame up for where we're going to go, and we'll go to Stars and Wishes. Sound good? So take 5. We're going to come back. So I want to give a chance for everybody to call one more scene, interaction, thing before we kind of tee up things for next time. Uh, Taven, what is it that we want to see from you? What do you want to do in this next scene?
That's a good question. I think I would like to maybe attend one of Kiktori's matches
Okay.
and just observe, because I do want to have a conversation with her about people chemically enhancing themselves.
Absolutely. And uh I think that this will be one of those things where uh this is the that match. What is the name of the jutsu thing again? Uh
And Enbo Jutsu, I
Embo
believe.
jutsu. Again, we see the armored vests, the helmets that are on. They have to use their senses to sense where the other person is. They've got the striking things. They're it's a little bit like swords. Uh, and you will see her go in, and she is heavily favored in this contest because she's great. Uh, and you will see her come in, and you'll see her opponent come in, and uh, she will begin. People are calling out her name, uh, and there will be, she will get off the start great. She clearly has a great deal of mental focus to listen for where her opponent is, to get the weapon up. And at first it will seem like she absolutely has the edge. But like partway through the match, uh, that will shift. And her opponent gets a burst of speed, of strength, of awareness, and there is a like there's probably like because Triskelion, there are probably three parts to the match. So I think after that second thing, is she's taken a number of blows and she is down in points, and she is kind of like you'll see her off to the side during the 5 minute interval before the final round, and she just looks really shook. What do you do, Tivan?
Does it seem as if her opponent's rallying is a natural phenomenon? Is this just adrenaline?
Are you saying that you are going to use your medical scanner, my
Yeah.
medical friend?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you make a uh, roll for me? I think this is going to be, he's going to spend a threat from the threat pool there. I'm going to make this difficulty
Hmm.
4. I'm sorry, 3 because you get a tricorder.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh, is this reason and medicine?
reason and medicine. I don't think this
Okay.
is diagnostic expertise exactly, so I'm not going to give you that because you're not dealing with an illness. Do you want to spend a momentum or give me a threat?
Uh, I do. We only have 2 momentum, so in order to hit 3, I would need another dice, at least. But going momentum or threat, I can only really get 1 either way.
You could also spend your determination.
I could. Yeah, let's do that. And the value I'm going to call on is must walk barefoot in the dirt to really understand her world. She's come into the arena to see what's going on here.
All right, I like it. So you spend that, you've hit your value, so that's 2 successes before you roll. So
Okay.
you just need 1 success on those 2d20.
I do just need 1. I'm going to give you a threat to roll a 3rd die, though.
Okay, that's what we like to see.
All right. So looking for a 15.
Okay.
That is 2 more successes.
2 more successes. So that's the 3 successes you needed plus 1, so we got 1 momentum floating around.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it seems like it's not like your run-of-the-mill steroids or anything like that. Uh, it's definitely gene mod kind of technology enhancement that you're fairly certain will flush out of the system after this, um, and is not the kind of thing that the Triskelions are capable of. You have momentum that you could ask a question, or you could put it back in the pool.
I am going to put it back in the pool for the moment.
Do you want to use your diagnostic expertise to ask a free question?
Given that the Triskelions are incapable of this kind of modification, would I know whether or not any of the other representatives here would be capable of something like that, or if they have historically done something like that?
I think you will most definitely pick up traces of Cardassian genetic engineering. Like they have to begin with a certain kind of gene seed or gene mod to do this. And I think that you can pick up on that. And you know it's rumored that the Cardassians uh do that. They don't talk about it and they certainly won't admit it, but there's certainly rumors about that.
And to be clear, this participant is not themselves a Cardassian, right?
Correct. The local Triskelion.
Okay.
And not favored to win.
Mm.
And so would you say anything to Kictory?
Yeah, I would. Uh, Kictory, a moment before you go back into the ring.
Yeah.
It seems as if your opponent has been enhanced in some manner that I'm still investigating, but I believe it will flush out of their system. If you can hold them off for long enough, I believe they will return to their previous state.
It's a dangerous game to play in this jutsu, but I will try.
Play defensive. For great Kictory.
Let's have you make a presence plus medicine roll here.
Okay, but I'm going to be a little bit cheeky. This is going to be where I'm going to spend my advance on improving my presence.
Okay, I like it.
Given the previous experience she has with leading teams of people and talking the amount of talking that she's done, I'm going to increase presence.
That's
So presence
perfect.
plus, what did you say?
Medicine.
Plus medicine is a 14.
Yeah. Gonna spend that momentum.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. 3d20.
3d20. For great victory. Here we go.
Look at that. 3 successes. And I think it is tough. This is not a game that really plays well with the delaying and but there is that moment you kind of given her that advice when you can see her opponent start to clearly come down off of this and opens themselves up and he's being more aggressive trying to land those blows and Victory takes the hits and then can feel, as you said that they falter, and she will switch her tactics immediately, and she will strike and repeatedly and land that final blow, and her opponent will fall, and she will win in a squeaker on
Mhm.
points there. And she will come back and she will grab you up and hug and kiss you and raise your arm in a victory pose there to acknowledge this advice. And she will say, I am Victory, and this is Tavan. And the crowd will go wild. Victory, Tavan, Victory, Tavan. And they will shout out your name. Do we see any reaction on your part as that happens, Taven?
I do think there's like a momentary just curl of the lip and a smile, but then a look of concern and consternation.
Perfect. You will see a Cardassian, watching in the crowd and does look annoyed at the results of this particular wager. Let's come.
Uh,
Yes.
sorry, with 3 successes, does that leave 1 left to go back in the momentum pool?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Okay, put it in.
Uh,
Manageable.
let's go to Commander Chivilik. What scene do you want to call?
I mean, I think this is the scene where, having sent those cadets on their way, stumbling back to their dormitory, Chivilik has turned to the bartender and said, um, uh, you know, uh, the night is young. Where can we find something a little more potent than what we've got here?
So you are trying to worm your way into the criminal
Yep.
underground?
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to be presence plus command. And your criminal networks may
Yeah, I feel like
absolutely
that's gonna
apply.
come in here. Yeah. And boy. So we still got three and eight is where we're still at
That is
there.
where you're at.
Let me buy one more die then with momentum.
Okay. I'm holding on my threat for second session.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Gonna sit on it and burn you all into the ground.
So I think that's gonna be 3. Is that
No, it's gonna be 2 successes.
this is not security?
I think this is command. You're
Okay.
interacting with the
Okay.
and I think we will now see you. That was more of a college bar.
Yeah.
I think now we are in a more, smoke-filled, vape-filled
Yeah.
room. We've got the weird alien jazz pianist over there. You've had to walk down into this place. You will see that over in the corner, they're playing the forbidden game, Dabo. That is illegal on this planet. That is a
Mhm.
game of chance.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
is, disgusting. But they are playing it in here. And
May as well just flip a coin.
exactly, that's what they
Everything,
say.
it's all just everything else is bells and whistles.
Yes. And you will be directed over to the corner, and you have been told to meet with a man named Shabak Khalidus. And uh, he is seated there with his vape pen and his colored drink. And he will look up and he gestures for you to sit down. He clearly has a couple of heavies, but they're back a ways.
Mhm.
Looks at the other two. Johnson has some presence to him. You know, he's security. Uh, Tund Tellarite got that manner to her, right? Jolene, like how does Tund act when she's dragged into a den of iniquity, a hive of scum and villainy?
I think Ton for once is trying to be reserved
Okay.
because she is very forward. She is the tact. She has no tact. And this is Commander Trevillick's lead, and she does not want to blow this because it's important. But if somebody starts an argument, she's going to finish it.
You are Abraham Chivillic.
I am. You're clearly your intelligence is top notch.
Your name is not unknown to me.
Yes, well, I uh I had a life before I went to Starfleet Academy. Uh, I suspect you may have met one of my friends from the good old days.
Oh, I have met one of your relatives.
Yes, well, in the event that they owe you money or have done something to
Oh, no, they're already paying off their particular
oh
debt,
oh
but
well I was going to assure you that I haven't heard from them in some number of years.
no.
But if you're I mean if that's
The, the,
I
no, no,
certainly
no,
wouldn't
no,
want to interfere with your what
no. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't here to try and extract her from her particular situation.
oh. And Chivilic genuinely like laughs at the thought of that.
Ah,
And he says, "Oh no, no. In fact, you informing me of her situations is uh, you know what? It's." And I kind of look at
well,
my fellow Federation officers and I say, I hate to admit it, but it's the best part of my day so far.
well, I will tell her that her beloved nephew sends his regards.
She's not going to know you're talking about me if you refer to me that way.
Uh, but you also have friends in low places, and you come recommended by Mr. Jones.
Hmm. Well,
What is it you need, Commander?
we need to make sure that whatever operation's going on here, look, uh, I have no illusions that even a fleet full of starships can stop you from doing business because if the customers are there, then the suppliers will arrive. My job is to make sure that if things are going to happen, they happen quietly, smoothly, and with a minimum of casualties.
You say that the suppliers would always be there when demand is there. That would usually be the case. However, we are in something of a, shall I put it to you this way, a drought.
How interesting.
Our suppliers for the things I assume that you are looking into that I would keep at a distance, but one does take one's cut, as you understand. But understand that I'm not saying that I'm directly involved in anything radioactive or synthy, as you understand. Uh, the people who would normally be supplying that apparently have other irons in the fire right now. And so they have not been keeping up their end over the last few weeks.
So this is where I would like to use my new talent that I just took,
Okay.
which is called Well Informed. And it kind of feels like I'm playing kind of like Abe just kind of knows stuff and he's like on all kinds of different channels and everything. So this felt like a neat augment to the character. You have contacts everywhere and you listen to news and rumors from far and wide. At the start of a scene, you may add one threat to ask the game master two questions about the situation or location, as if you'd spent momentum on the obtained information spent. The answers you receive will be knowledge you've gained from your contacts and the news and rumors you've heard. So
What's your
please,
first question?
please go ahead and take a thread if you have not done so.
I
I
have
assume you've
already
done
added
that. Yes.
that
My
to
first
take.
question is, has he been in contact with the Orions? Are they, are they in
He's
on this?
not talking about the Orions at all.
And the other question is, has he been talking to the Cardassians? That is the other thing that I think I'm trying to figure out.
No,
Interesting. Okay.
he's dealing with a third party,
Okay.
and that has traditionally been supplying them with this, has been the criminal network
Yeah.
that's been supplying them, but they have something else that they're working on right now.
Interesting. All right. Okay.
Well,
So yeah, go ahead.
I hope this has been of use to you, Commander Chivilik, and that you will keep that in mind should things go awry later.
I do, as a Federation security officer, have some discretion in terms of where I point our investigations. And as long as um, I have other targets of higher priority and that pose a more immediate problem to the Federation, well, my inclination would be to concentrate on those.
I understand. I will certainly keep that in mind, Commander. It was a pleasure meeting with you this evening. Perhaps we will have a chance to speak again.
And I point at the pen and I say, "Be careful. That stuff will kill you." And then, like wink at him and point to my two officers, and we'll head out.
All right. Uh, Commander Moreno, what would you like to do for your scene here?
I would like to have a chance meet up with Commander Trios.
Okay. I think that it is as much as anything fighting Commander Trios herding cats on planet.
Yeah, okay.
Because these are there are a large number of ensigns and sub-ensigns who haven't been off on another world. They've been four to what 8 years in Starfleet Academy, and now they're out here in the world in the Olympic Village, and she is trying to get this set. And I think you will come across her as she's a, call up to sick bay now and get a cure. I don't care how hungover you are. I the captain wants you in shape as soon as possible. Yeah, I don't care if you're allergic. I really couldn't care. You're the one who did this to yourself. Call up to medbay now. Uh, Commander,
You having issues there, Commander Trias?
those issues are, even as we speak, being handled by these young, bright, promising officers who would hate to have their careers snuffed out so quickly.
Ah, so not on shore leave, I see.
No.
Ah, that's a shame. It's a shame. Are you competing in anything? Or are you just the
She
put
looks at you.
upon manager?
She goes, I do not have time to compete in anything. I have to wrestle children into place.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You
Because do
are
you need
you
some help?
no, no. I
Are you,
appreciate the officer, the I
tr
appreciate the offer, first officer to first officer.
yeah, Trios. Look, I've been there. It,
Oh, I don't think you've been here. She
well,
says that very seriously.
I have not served under the Commodore during the game, these specific situations, but I've been in a situation where I've had to herd cats myself. Technically, that's cattle, but you know, yeah, I grew up on a farm.
Oh, okay. I said that's unexpected.
Yeah,
Agricultural world?
yep. Well, Earth.
Oh, oh, you're from Earth. Okay.
Yeah, Argentina.
Oh, I the only time I was on Earth was the Academy. That
Mm.
was it. Born and raised on Mars.
Well, hopefully you took use of the transporters.
Uh, I grew up in a family that didn't think much of Earth, and that
Mm.
unfortunately colored my choices there during my time
Mm.
at the Academy. I regret that, but you
Well,
know,
there's always time to change that and see many of the wonders. I know there's vast amount of wonders in the galaxy, but
we'll see. It will all depend on where the Sempak heads.
yeah. Well, what was it like growing up on Mars?
She'll stop and she will say, all of my family were uh I'm going to say engineers, but I really mean laborers. Utopia Planitia. Uh, three generations down, working on getting it set up, and then working in the yards once they got rolling. I was I was certainly expected to do the same, but I tested well enough that I got into the academy.
And I can see we're better off with you. So even if the current situation may not be what you expected.
It is certainly not what I expected. Uh, what's your captain like?
Ed? Ed's pretty great. He's very he's not as if I'm to be honest, he's not as boastful as my first impression of the Commodore. He
The Commodore has a strong sense of self.
mm, well, that's okay, but we are a family when we're traveling together. We're a team, and teamwork makes the dream work, as I've heard Ed say. It's some baseball thing he loves. I don't get it. I'm always more into dance and athletics. So,
Are you competing?
yeah, it's like she's in like a jogging outfit. Yeah, no, I'm still training, so I'm gonna be doing the triathlon.
Oh, that's a hell of an event.
It is, but I love this sort of thing.
Well, I probably need to finish my rounds and check up and see how many other people have managed to sicken themselves.
Hey.
drinking
No,
with some of your
I,
crewmates.
well, this isn't all work and no play. It makes us it makes for a very dull life, and you should keep that in mind. You won't be able to operate at peak efficiency if you don't take a break yourself. Plus, Starfleet regulations
Don't quote regulations at me.
require.
I'll keep that in mind.
So
You know
yeah,
what? I'll make time to come and see your competition.
thank you. Hopefully, we'll have time to meet up afterwards.
Okay. Captain Escarra. Yeah. Do you have a scene you can think of that you want to do?
Let's see. Looking at our mission notes, the Andorian and Tellarite delegations. I had a conversation with the Cardassians. Information on the criminal networks operating on planet. That is interesting. Providers' adherence to the agreement regarding the uplifting of the populace.
Do you want to meet with one of the providers?
Sure, just so I can hear more providers speak. That sounds great.
So I think, you've been briefed by Taven and um, our new psychology person on what they've kind of gotten that kind of built on a house of cards. And you will head to the Hall of Providers. And again, done in the very much the Triskelion decorations. They've got you know, some like waxworks dummies of Kirk and the original crew, in a kind of a mock-up of the arena. And you'll speak to someone at the desk, and they will say, "I will tell Provider One that you are here." And a few moments later, Captain Escarra, it is I, Provider One.
Good. I was looking for you, Provider One.
That's my understanding. How can I be of assistance, Captain?
You mentioned competition between yourself and the other providers and derided the other providers. What
Yes,
drives that
yes.
competition? Why is it in place?
Uh, you understand that it is important that competitive spirit push people forward in things. We compete with one another. It engages our interests. It engages our sense of sport. That is what we do. We have many bets on things. I'm betting, for example, that Provider 3 is the one that will go rogue and break the system, that they will turn and try to take over everything. A million quatloons on that. We'll see if that pays off. Most of them have bet on me. It's going rogue.
I see. And have you bet on yourself to go rogue?
No, one does not bet like that.
I see. I see.
One does not one does not bet on oneself in that way. And one
That's
does
good.
not bet and then attempt to impact negatively the other people. These are the rules.
Good. I'm glad there are rules like that. That sounds healthy. I'd like to learn a little bit more about the Triskelion Agreement and the uplifting of the populace. It's pretty important to the Federation that
Well, yeah,
is happening.
you have to understand that your Kirk was very vague in his dis agreement with us. The bet was pretty simple that we would teach the Triskelions.
And how is that going?
I think we have started to, as you can see, educational systems are in place. We have commerce, we have economy. People have lives. They have what you would call freedom.
Would I? Would I genuinely call it freedom, though?
Where are they
Provider
not
one.
free? In what way have we shackled them, Captain Escarra? They are not thralls anymore. You should ask President Galt, the former chief
I was
thrall. He would speak to
surprised.
you of how well the thralls do now. We don't even use the term thrall, and certainly we forbid discussion of those kinds of things.
A rose by any other name still smell as sweet.
I
Provider
have
one,
no olfactory senses. I do not understand your meaning.
wonderful. Understood. Just a turn of phrase. Provider one,
Yes, Captain Escarra.
I've observed a large number. There's a particular fashion of the Triskelions where they're wearing collars. My understanding, I'm given to believe that those with a white collar are not saddled with debt. I saw precious few of
No,
those.
well, understand that the collars are a visible sign of one's debt status. We felt that that was important to create a sense of trust in the capitalist economy that we have imposed.
I'm not sure that means what you think it means, provider.
They are not shackled. That is merely a visible sign. It is promote trust and interactivity. It is a reputation monitor. You understand how that would work.
Yes, I understand. And provider one, it smacks a great deal of indentured servitude.
We are, Captain Escarra, we are working out the kinks of this. Captain Escarra, we are bodiless brains that were engaged in blood sport gambling for eons. And then your captain comes along and tells us, teach the thralls, teach them. What the fuck does that mean? He doesn't say the F word, but he says some version of that in Star Trek. We're doing the best that we can.
And Captain Escarra moves forward. I
And you can see that
appreciate that.
the little shell thing that he's in is actually vibrating at this point.
Okay. And he reaches, Escarra reaches up and does a soothing gesture. This thing that doesn't have a body wouldn't even perceive as being anything useful.
I'm sorry, Captain. I made a bet on completion times for a particular public project that went very badly. That I was really hoping that we would have the hydraulic lifts ready for the snow mountain for the skiing events, and they fell through. We've tried so hard,
I'm sorry.
but understand that the debt that you speak of, the gambling, these sorts of
Mhm.
things that is part of the economy. All of that comes back to us, and we funnel all of it back into the society.
I feel like you're missing the point, Provider One.
All right. And he
What
says,
if
why don't you explain it to me? Explain it to me in a way that I will understand as a disembodied brain who has spent eons doing blood sports and was
I
only
understand?
told 10 years ago that he had to teach an entire society and come up with it with only two peers.
I wish that you had been provided more guidance.
That is every night in my dreamless sleep. Yes, that is what I wish.
I'd like to work with you to find healthier ways for you to raise the thralls. Never speaking of, never using the term thrall or servitude doesn't mean that you have changed anything other than how people speak of it. But regardless, I'm not trying to lay blame or fault. I'm telling you what I observe, and I'm offering you an opportunity to find a different path. And I'm more than happy to work with the providers to chart out a different course to better fulfill what Kirk has asked of you.
All right. We will have to meet with the president and the
Okay.
judge
It's president
and
and the judge. Okay.
yes, the high referee, the great umpire, Shauna.
The high ref. Okay. That sounds
Yes.
fantastic.
I hope this will be the start to a long and fruitful relationship. Captain Escarra!
So do I, provider one. So do I.
And I think we're going to cut there, and we cut to a shot where we see a figure standing in the shadows looking, and the figure kind of puts the comms up. See her watching some of the Federation people, some people from the Tempest, and she goes, "So the Tempest is here under Captain Escarra. We didn't expect them, but they've also brought your sister along." And then closes the comm. And that's where we're going to leave off for today. Let's do a quick stars and wishes, if we may. Commander Chivilik / Jim.
Yeah,
Stars and wishes.
thank you. Yeah. I wrote a few things down here. I mean, this was just super fun. I mean, star number one goes to when I got the mission brief and was like, oh yeah, okay. Lowell actually, Lowell spent some time on Memory Alpha for this one. So I saw Gangsters of Triskelion and was like, oh yeah, okay, this is gonna be fantastic. And so just the whole setup and everything just really, I mean, like as a lifelong Trekker, like I was immediately in the mood and I knew like what we were in for, and just that was just the whole framing of it was fantastic. Um I wrote down um the economy is so big that not even three giant brains can control it. There was just a lot of, goofy stuff but like that was the line that stuck, like that really stuck in my head was like, when it was just blood sports, that we could manage.
Yeah.
But, but like an actual economy is proving to be beyond them. But that was great. Jolene, your delight in playing our new character, our new psychologist, to the point where you're like, do you want to frame a scene for your main character? Screw that. I want the new hotness. And that was, I really enjoy that. I like it when people get enthusiastic for, to play those side characters. Excited about that. And also that you had Tund, jump in for the drink up to like, because 100% she would be, go like, Chivilik needs to maintain operational security, so he can't be going shot for shot with these guys. But there's no reason for Ton not to. So I really like that. That was a lot of fun. Um, Rich, I loved your scene with the Cardassian. That was kind of cool. And that was, and like that had the air of, because um, we haven't seen Escarra very much on his own outside the ship. And that's kind of the first time we really saw that. Uh, and um, he's like his attitude's the same, but just the caution and that he exercised, and it was, and the vibe you gave off that you're like, I don't have my crew here, so I need to be careful. uh, really came across. And I really like that. That was kind of cool. Like I said, every time we get a little bit more insight into him and what kind of captain he is, and he wasn't like swaggering Kirk or cerebral, like cerebral Picard or, like, stiff-spined Cisco or anything like that. It's kind of doing his own thing, just, but winning people over, which I really like. That was really cool. Mike, uh, adding vinegar to the bars was fantastic, and just the way that whole scene, the timing of that went, and I think Jolene was literally making a like go to take a bite out of it motion when you said, "Oh, and I added vinegar," and like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was That was fantastic. I love that. Yeah, I think we're all going to be saying for great victory, through the end of this whole campaign. So that's fantastic.
Anything wishes wise?
Wishes wise, yeah, I mean, like I want to see, um, I would love to see one of those things where we've got the sporting event going on while we are trying, like half of the team is doing the sporting event, the other half is like frantically trying to keep it from being sabotaged or like somebody taking a sniper shot at somebody or something like that without interfering with the race, like so that it can continue. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like that kind of thing.
We'll keep
that
that
we
in
see
mind.
happen in like a lot of those thriller type of things. I would love to see a scene like that.
Mike.
Yeah, I think Jim hit a lot of the same notes that I'm going to, but this was absolutely awesome. This was a lot of fun. It was great to have a more light-hearted episode, I think, after some of the more uh, ethically challenging ones, although there is plenty of ethical challenge here. It was great to see all the side characters come out, and I really want to give a star to Jolene in particular for that. I'm glad that you're finally getting a chance to play Riza Echo. She's been in the wings for a while. I think this is the third episode where she's been on the list and hasn't shown up until just now. And she's already been delightful, standing on the pitcher's mound and goading the Tellarites, and then investigating the history of the games, to provide some insight for the rest of the crew, and also for Tund getting into drinking competitions without knowing what the plan is.
Hmm?
That just felt so Tund. So that was great. For Rich, I agree with what Jim said. The Escarra is really shaping up to be his own captain in a way that feels true to the Star Trek legacy, but without aping any of the existing captains. So the diplomacy and tact of dealing with Cal and the ridiculous Commodore was really on display here, and I really appreciated that. There was a certain lack of competitiveness in the baseball match, which felt very unique to Escarra, in that, like, I think even you said at some point the attitude of like, hey, go out there, have fun, but also, win. But winning was kind of it was the last thing. It wasn't the primary goal here. Was not, we're not here to show everyone how awesome the Federation is. We're here to enjoy ourselves. And that really came through. And then, yeah, the diplomacy scene with the Cardassian with Gilas, and carefully selecting what to bring to that meeting, and then waving off the fact that they didn't know what to give you. That felt very Escarra as well. For Jim, I picked up the wind chime sound effect for this impact transporters. Was just a fantastic little detail. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, in Chivalik insinuating himself into the underworld whilst also keeping an eye on the Sempak crew there, and predicting a bar and giving specific details around, I think this is the type of bar that these people are going to show up to, so that's why we're here. Was just perfect. Chivalik. Follow. Cal is delightfully awful, and I love seeing Trios as his long suffering kind of aide de camp. I think I put in the chat at some point that Trios is the Kif to Cal's Captain Brannigan. Perfect.
That was in fact the note that I sent to Rich. I said, "This is the Zaf Brannigan character to annoy you."
Nice.
I was amazed when Mike pointed that out. I'm like, wow, you really communicated that well, Lowell.
It was the
Very,
sigh.
very well.
I think Trios gave a sigh early on, and I'm like, oh, this is the Kif. And then the other star I have is just Kictory, and I've just added exclamation marks to it as we've gone along. But great bombastic voices, and just the whole construction of the Triskelion kind of society, and how it's advanced from where we saw it in the TV show, even down to like, hey, we bet on the completion dates of a construction project and that fell through, and that's going bad. Or we've placed bets on which one of the three providers is going to break the system first, and I have the most bets against me, but it would be immoral to bet on myself. That's not how we do things. Perfect, absolutely pitch perfect. Um, In terms of wishes, I'm looking forward to seeing our various characters get into a variety of competitions. I did want to point out that our visually impaired science officer actually has aquatic sports as a focus,
Oh, that's
so we should
right.
probably find a way to bring that character into a scene at some point.
Excellent. Jolene.
Yeah, like Lowell, starting with you. Oh, you're like first off, I love anytime Star Trek does like, hey, let's go visit the place we've already seen. Like especially in like the comics when they bring back the gangsters for the trial of Kirk.
Hmm.
It's so much fun. But like the gangsters of Triskelion, chef's kiss. I'm very glad that you're getting use out of that Star Trek title font
Yeah, that
maker
was
that I
great.
shared. But yeah, like all the NPCs that you make and RP are like, well, I want to interact with all of them now. That's the problem. Even the jerks. Um, so like that's a lot of fun. Rich, yeah, like everyone said it. Escarra is just so good. I love him. He's so great. Uh, and Jim, like, she was like, "Hey, I know what to do to sabotage this jerk captains. I'm gonna get them all. I'm get all these ensigns drunk. Let's gonna get them rowdy and drinking and ruin their chances or make it hard as hell for them." And like, now that that's done with, let's get down to business because I'm still on the job. Like, let's go find some info about what's going on here. Uh, Mike, Taven, and Kictory. That look, I didn't know when the setup was going to lead to one of the best NPCs. I'm like, no, this is my new best friend. I will protect them with my life. And like, I'm happy like we got to actually. Granted, I basically forced you into the scene, but I was like, no, Mike, we need the RP, Boris. So it's just like, and glad to have you play along because like when I created her, I was like, I gotta have someone that's not like crossing over, but can have reasonable, good banter with each of the other main characters. So like that's why like I focused the way I built her around that. So I'm like, yeah, she's not security, but she can help with psychology for if Javilic ever needs her. So and wishes like parroting what everyone said, but also while like I love seeing Escarra off the ship, I would love to see Rich getting to like RP with Mike or Jim as like, Escarra being able to banter with someone or even just like because I love the when we get to like bounce off of each other, you know?
Hmm.
Like we all got that in like the first scene and the baseball and less about the baseball, but like the first scene we had like some fun with that Rich. So hoping to be more banter between the players because I always love that.
Awesome. And Rich.
Going last, I wrote down, I thought I was really on top of it. I wrote down almost a page of stuff, and all of them have been taken. Dim Jot, Space Billiards, Contra, the board game, Space Masters of Gazana 5. Just what a list. What a list. That really, really tickled me. Love the accursed Dabo. That got me super excited. The idea of a high referee. This is such a great Star Trek slant of it's a satire of like Kalshi and everything that's going on today, taken to an extreme with a whole society behind it. And then how bad would that go? Like it's chef's kiss. That's the perfect kind of Star Trek episode, in my opinion, or at least one of my favorite kinds. Maybe do I want it all the time? Maybe not, but as a little amuse bouche, a little like switch it up. It's great. Another thing I want to point out that it's one of the only original thing. The names that you have in the NPC tab, like I loved your portrayal of Tharaz. He was very, very hunky, and you have a great hunky voice. It's great. That is the prettiest Cardassian I have ever
Yeah.
seen. That is the like I've seen a number of Cardassian females. Oh well, there's the half Cardassian daughter of Gul Dukat
Hmm.
who's quite pretty, but she's half. So they share. She's this lady Gillis Cole. She is wow. just wow. Ladeth, aka Kictory, amazing. Zober, Shabak Khalidus, Emerjan, Inclement, and Potbiki. Just wow. Where did these come from? They're awesome and smart. Like we want to see all the NPCs again. I want to see these folks. Like, what even are they? It's great. It's so great. I loved everybody picking up secondary characters. That was fulfilling one of my previous wishes and moving two wishes. I don't actually want to write out how these guys should be better. I don't know how to solve their societal problems. Poor providers. You guys are so bad at your jobs.
I think in
Uh,
that case, it's simply saying we're going to work on it and make some rolls, and like,
Sweet.
yeah, I think
Sweet.
that's absolutely the way to do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because I we reached the limits of my diplomacy
Oh
abilities
no,
very early in that scene, and I'm like, okay, I'm along for the ride.
no, I think 100% we can play with the more the
Killer.
storyline of that.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Really enjoying this.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Is it okay if I post the recording?
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to end this then. Thank you all so much.